In this demonstration, we'd like to show you how to manage your setup and configurations in Alien. In the first module, we have fixed data. Now, fixed data is all the pieces of information that we use every day, but that changes very little. We have 9 tabs here. The first one is product categories. That defines all the products that we keep in our store, and we can create new ones here. And product categories usually belongs to groups, so I have a defined set of suits, and under that I might create new products called long suits, short suits, and so on. Brands I can use when creating products so that I can do reports on brands and which ones perform better than others and so on, and I can define images which I can use on in my online store. Suppliers allows us to track sales by suppliers and report on them and so on and so on. And I can create a new one here simply by typing and hitting the save button. Financial information is simple things like the float size and current VAT rate, and I can also here choose whether I would like to enforce the use of the ordering system. And you might recall from our earlier demos that we use the ordering system, but this is not a given. You can choose not to do that. The second option that we have here is to enforce the use of the return goods functions in the shop sales module. This means that I may not use negative numbers to return goods with, or negative quantities, and then the return goods function will record the original invoice number, the return invoice number, and so on, and makes tracing very easy. The miscellaneous tab gives me some things like my Alien license. This gets updated once a year and is free of charge. I also have my administrative email and cell phone numbers that I can put in here, and I can choose whether I would like to have cash up reports from tills via email and SMS at the end of the day, and I can also enable the hiring of goods here. The next tab gives us the ability to change the header of our invoices and also our footer, and I would here define my location, my address, my web address, my email, and a footer which may be a thank you note or terms and conditions as I prefer. If I do hiring, my booking slips can also have a ending to them, which I define here. Our next module under Tools is System Setup, and this is usually reserved for super users and Alien support and so on, but for demonstration purposes we'd just like to give you a brief idea of the setups here. Here I can set up my databases, my emails and email connections, my FTP connections, and this is used to upload images and database backups and so on to the web servers. Data maintenance. Database maintenance is used to create backup directories where your databases are backed up each day, and they're also uploaded to the Alien servers for safekeeping during the night of each week. The replication interval is set to 30 minutes here, and this defines how often the latest sales data and so on is uploaded to the master database. Admin contacts is Alien contact information. Till identification simply describes the specific till by its business name, the company's code, the store code, and the till number. And you can also run a till in standalone mode, which means no internet is required. Error logging. Alien logs all the errors it encounters, so it is easier for Alien support to trace problems. SMS service provider is set up here. Next we have print and scan, and here we set up our printers and scanners, and we also define the look of our bar cables. And let's start off with this last tab, is where we set up all our printers and connections to them, and also the barcode format that we would like to use. The second last tab is used to set up thermal printers. Alien will print to either a thermal printer or to an ordinary printer. For thermal printers I use labels on a roll, and for ordinary printers we use sheets of labels. Now here we have our barcode designer, which we use for sheet labels, and firstly I have to set up my sheet labels here, and in this case we have 3 labels across and a down, and all the sizes and spaces on that page and the printer that we'd like to use. The barcode itself, or barcode label itself, we can set up here, and for instance, if we would like to have the company's name in the top, it will insert it there. I can also change the color. Let's say I want the barcode to be in a different color, and so on. Of course, also type something new in there, and I can use these tags provided to automatically install or insert company information into my barcode. When I'm done, I simply press save, and my barcodes will now look like that. Finally, we would like to show you the security features of Alien. And here I define who may do what in Alien. And we'll start off by showing you users and how they are managed. Now, there are 5 access levels in Alien. If we just go here quickly, the first level is no security, the second level is level 2, which is reserved for assistants, 3 is for supervisors, 4 for managers, and then there's a level 5 called super users, which Alien can set up for you. Users now get an access level according to that scale. And if we go to someone here, is Denise has an access level of 2. We can now go and set up our programs, our functions, our reports and our utilities to certain levels, which will include or exclude Denise from viewing or seeing them or using them. We can start with programs. Now programs are these modules here, and the first one, Alien itself, is to start up the program. You will note it has an access level of 1, so it will not ask for password if we start up the software. However, when we go into something like transact, we see that's a level 1. If we go to something like orders, only supervisors will be able to access the orders function. Within each of these programs there are functions defined, and if we look here at the sales module, for instance, there's a function here called bulk discount, and you may recall that's the button that you press to give discount across a list of items purchased. And we see here that its access level is 3, so supervisors or higher will be able to use this function. The same goes for reports. Each of these reports have a level assigned to them. If we look here at custom query, for instance, or quick dashboard, which gives me my company figures, it's set to a level 4, so only managers will be able to access that dashboard. The same is true for utility functions, setting mail, exporting reports, and so on. And then we have a few miscellaneous functions here. Allow Control O to open the cash drawer. If I lost the key, I can do that under certain conditions to open the cash drawer. And the final one is to whether I would like all products displayed within this installation from other chains. Now if I have multiple chains, let's say the one is a hardware store and the other one is a bottle store, I might not want to see products of hammers and so on and their sales information within this installation. And that concludes our demonstration of the data functions and setup and configuration functions of Alien.